And hello, Internet. Welcome back to the lands beyond the mist. It has been such a short time since we were out exploring them, but now we are back once more to brave them with a new group. I think we have all returning players for the first time this session, although we don't necessarily have all returning characters. Um...
I feel a little bit outed right now, Greg.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
What happened,
I
John?
actually remade my character, Greg, to be the exact same thing before he died.
Oh, well,
I'm
that's
his
excellent.
brother.
Yeah, with the same name, even. It's like a
Yeah.
multiverse thing.
Rick Stone. All right.
All right. Well, why don't we get started by going around the table and having a quick reintroduction to returning characters and a proper introduction for our new one, and we will hit our downtime and see what you've been up to in the city of Anchum in between your last couple of adventures. I'm just gonna go in camera order. And that's going to start us off here with Mega. Why don't you remind us who you are playing, and let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing in between your adventures here.
Don't touch me, I'm sterile. Oh, wrong place. Sorry, guys. Hey, everyone. Mega in the Discord. I like D&D. In particular, Greg's D&D is a lot of fun. Today, I will... What?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I thought that was John that interrupted my soliloquy. But sorry, you threw me off my game.
I apologize.
I play barbarian, wolfman, shifter thing. That's literally Azamar. It is literally one of those characters. I am tiefling Azamar, wolfman shifter, and my name is Darkside Phil or something like that. I don't know.
Oh no.
But
I didn't
yes,
know Darkside Phil was coming. Okay.
Yeah, I did not mean to invoke that name. I apologize. But yes, I am playing Blondie. He is a Azamar from his race, but his background is he is a shifter that is like cursed, basically. So he's like cursed to always look like a wolf man rather than being a man who can turn into a wolf man at command. Because of that, he was abandoned, and he went through all of the struggles that you would do in life if you were like some wolf-looking guy in regular society. Eventually, he became a pirate. You know, his pirate ship got crashed. He ended up here in Anchor. So he's here to see what's going on. You know, he got a call. He got a call to come here. He feels like there's powerful nature magics, and he feel like he can, commune with his long forgotten godfather, Sylvantis.
And very importantly, has been recently cursed with a terrible fear of trees.
We don't have to talk about it.
Okay. We don't have to talk about it, I suppose. But what we do have to talk about is what Blondie has been up to in the city of Anchum. You have gone out on an adventure, you have enriched yourself, come back with magical treasures, and now you've gone about the mundanery of life in Anchum. You've had time to yourself, and I want to know what you've been doing with it. As a reminder, mechanically, in between sessions, you can perform downtime actions. As the city expands, there will be more of them to take, but you can choose between carousing, applying yourself in a trade, and working. You can go to the market and spend some of that hard-earned coin. You can build something if you can afford it in Antrim itself, oversee its construction. I think those are our totals. But what has Blondie been up to?
Did you see the meme I just posted in general, Gray?
I do not have general open. I'll let us take a look.
I would like to make a deal.
You'd like to make a deal. Okay. What is your deal that you propose?
I would like to forego all of my downtime activities
Okay.
to try to pursue a way to get this dang curse removed.
Okay. If you want to get this curse removed, I need to know how you're gonna do it. So you spend your downtime essentially trying to find some way to get this curse removed, and we'll have to figure out whether you're successful, unsuccessful, whether you make it worse. And to do that, I need to know how you go about trying to remove this curse.
I am seeking a woods witch. They
Okay.
are well known to,
Mhm.
be ones who bestow curses. And as somebody who would be advanced at cursing, they would also be advanced at removing curses.
Okay, so you attempt to find and court a woods witch
Court.
nearby to Anthem to, well, beseech them for help, not, you know.
I just lost my first girlfriend. Don't do this, Fred. I don't need this trauma in my
Right,
life.
right. Sorry, we forgot about the incident in the forest. But you leave the safe walls of Anthem and you make your way through the woods, attempting to find a woods witch that will help you. I want you to make me a survival wisdom check. And I want you to make me a stealth dexterity check. One is to find your witch, and one is to do so unmolested by the malevolent forces of the forest. Oh, very good rolls. All right. Well, you are a creature of the forest after all. And this is a new one to you. But after a small adventure in it last time, you've quickly found the ways of avoiding things, sticking to safe paths. Whatever monstrous creatures may await you in the future, you avoid them here and now during your off time. And sure enough, you find essentially a woods witch. They do not appear human. They appear to be fey in some origin, but they pass all the sniff tests. They have a weird hut that walks around on a chicken leg. They have weird gardens and eyeballs that follow you around.
Is she single?
Does she sing? No.
No, is she single?
As far as you can tell, and unless there's a particularly lucky rooster in the pen, there's nobody else in their life that you can see.
Man, boys.
When you beseech her to remove the curse of your axe, she says she will do so at a cost. She wants you to return to her a vial of Titan's blood. And if you do so, she will remove the curse for you.
Where's the camera? Let me look into the camera. Do you take cash, credit, or gold?
Oh, I take vials, of course.
I don't know any Titans, but you understand that I'm afraid of trees, and I've seen so many trees on my way here. You have to understand.
It is a very brave thing indeed to seek me out in the forest. I can perform the spell quite easily, but I require something in return. Quid pro quo.
How about this? You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
That's what I'm proposing.
With the warts and everything, I don't mind. You remove this curse now, and I get you 2 vials of Titan blood. Let's make a deal.
I only need the one. If you wish this curse removed today, I would require your axe.
This cursed axe?
Yes. This will be mine until you... as collateral.
Take the cursed axe.
All right. I want you to mark on your character sheet that you are indebted to Nyx Rose, the Woods Witch. And you must acquire a vial of Titan's blood. We don't know when or how that will come into play, but you are indebted to them. But your fear of trees has been removed in your downtime, but your axe is being held for collateral until you fulfill your end of the deal.
I take it. You can have it, fam. I don't want it. No.
All right.
Excellent.
Very good. You eventually slink back to town and enjoy yourself fearless run through the trees, perhaps, before joining your adventuring team at the front gate. But who else is at the table or at the gate except somebody new? An elf lord? Question mark. John, tell us who you're playing.
I am playing as the elf lord, Timothy McGee. Timothy comes from the herald land of Norfolk, where he believes that he has been sent on a magical quest to hear Antrim to investigate a series of grisly murders. Yes.
Interesting. So you are like a second wave here. You got sent on a ship after people arrived and supposedly murdered each other.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good to know about the lore of the land. As you've gotten off, I assume that you've spent some time in Antrim investigating these foul murders. But what else have you been up to in your downtime?
I've been hacking the United States government through my DSL network.
I see.
Yep.
It's really
Timothy
easy to
McGee.
do in this world because the United States government just, pretty
Doesn't
powerless
exist.
compared to the, might of the empire. All their secrets are yours. Unfortunately, they won't help you here.
Unfortunate. I guess I don't get a downtime activity and you can skip me.
All right. Do you not want to carouse or work or something along these lines?
I'm good.
All right.
Timothy just showed up and got roped into an adventure. No big
Timothy
deal. He
just
hasn't had time.
showed up and is here. All right. Well, fresh off the boat, you find a wolfman waiting for you at the gates. And also a large lasagna-loving catman. Welcome back, Oro. Why don't you remind us of your character and tell me what you've been doing in Antrim since your last adventure.
Thank you. I believe there's two types of D&D players. There's ones like Mega, went into the story of his background, so elaborate, and then you have a cat to his dog. I'm just an orange cat. I hate Mondays. I love lasagna, and I'm here to mess things up. I'm playing Gorfield, a Tabaxi fighter, soon to be rogue as well. I reckon while in Antrim, now that I have a little bit of wealth under my name, I would like to go shopping if that's alright with you.
You may absolutely spend your downtime going to the market. Anything currently available in the market is at your disposal. There is no singular shop in Antrim, much as we've seen before. You spend your time between adventures going from location to location, haggling, maybe bartering, trading gold coins, finding people who will make the things that you need. You can find all of the items available in a player handout in Discord. Also, if you look at the, I believe, character starting document in World Anvil, that should have them all as well. What are you interested in purchasing?
At first I was thinking I'm gonna take the entire stock of Antrim's arrow supplies by buying 700 arrows. But then I realized that maybe I don't need that many, potentially. So I'm getting some thieves' tools.
Okay.
I'll be able to use them in some scenarios sometime. I'll be getting a couple of extra daggers, as having only one doesn't seem very fun. And I'll be getting some arrows. I'll buy 40 or 60 arrows. How much I can easily carry on my back.
All right. A handful, bushel full of arrows, a dagger, some strange metal tools and hooks, and no one's really sure what they're good for, but they meet your exact specifications. And with all of your new items in hand, you go to meet our last person to show up at the gates of Antrim. Talon is back with us. Welcome back, Sol. Why don't you give us a brief reintroduction to your character and let us know what you've been doing in your downtime.
Yeah, Talon is a high elf who was like, Dad, I refuse to ever learn magic. I don't want to do it. And his dad's like, okay, it's okay. We'll just do what Grandpa did. You'll be a ranger. And then he's just like, it's okay. You can just stay at home. It's fine. And then someone was like, hey, did you hear there's like a new city being built in the mist? And he's like, get out there like your grandfather did and earn a living for yourself. Get out of here. And then I think last time I blew up a dagger on this weird tree lady. I missed many attacks with arrows, and then almost got ate by a giant tree dragon thing. I don't really. It was a Quetzal or something. I have no idea. It was terrifying. It was a great time. And then I came back with barely or not enough to level up, not enough experience to level up, and not enough gold to buy. Or to use the wood to make a palisade wall, so he's going back out there to get one or the other.
All right.
Something's gotta give.
Well, I'm interested in what you were doing then while you were counting your gold coins, going, God, just not enough, and lamenting your experiences not being just a little more hearty.
He's just, he had to go shopping. He had to replace his dagger. He only had like 6 arrows left. I was gonna buy a grappling hook and a rope, but unfortunately for me, I can only carry like 43 pounds or 45 pounds, so that's just not gonna happen.
Will you go to the market then, perhaps crisscrossing with a lasagna-loving Catman as you did go, but you find yourselves some extra arrows, replaced some weapons, and you arrive at the gate where your party has gathered at the behest of, I believe, Gorefield, to go out and explore these woods further. The magics inside of them have concerned both you and Lord Commander Hightower, who grants you all the 3 rations that you can keep without them expiring out in the mists, and bids you good fortune as the gates swing open. You are all here in the city of Ansham, and at the start of your day, you will get 6 exploration points. Who is going to take lead of the party during your leave of Ansham?
Gorefield would like to put himself
All right,
forward.
Gorefield, you are leaving the gates of Ansham. How would you like to spend your first part of the adventuring day?
Well, the only reason Talon joined the party this time around is because we promised to hit up the coast. So we are going to the forest area, but why don't we take... I don't know, what do you call this little area here? This little...
I think that would be considered a bay? Question mark? Geography people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bay.
So while leaving Ansham, we are going to go to the square to the south of Ansham.
All
We
right.
are going to head up the coast at the beginning of the day and move towards the forest.
You take yourself to the south of Ansham then. Go ahead and move the party that away. This hex is more than half forest, so it is still going to cost you the additional exploration point to move through it, leaving you with 4 exploration points remaining. As you move south, you try to avoid much of the forest and stick to the coast. Much like we've seen it described elsewhere, the coast here is rocky, full of cliff sides, the bay beneath you in kind of like high dive range. But nonetheless, you hear the lapping of waters and the crush of the tides. As you are making your way through this new hex, Gorefield, I would love for you to roll me a D100 to see if there are any threats that may face you and the party during this early part of the adventure. That is an 81. Excellent. Let us look at our encounter tables for this hex.
Make it very far this time, Mech.
Well, fortunately for you, this is not the hex that you are currently in. You have to travel through the previous hex of Ansham, and the ones around Ansham are slightly modified to be, not as dangerous.
Hopefully it's a rune base so I can get rid of my curse.
You, in fact, do not find a rune bear, but as you are wandering through the cliff sides, making your way towards the coastal region away from the woods, that is still fairly wooded in this area. It opens up and closes some. You're kind of skirting past most of it, Gorefield. But unfortunately, not everyone is as nimble and sure barefooted as a cat. And your newest party member, Timothy McGee, is stomping his way through this kind of underbrush, and a log splits underfoot with a crash. He slides, perhaps gasps, I don't know, but it gets your attention, and as you look over, you realize that fungal spores have been released from this log in a cloud around you and the party. How are you going to overcome or avoid the danger presented by a cloud of unknown fungal spores?
Ooh, that's a interesting question. I reckon it's something like the instincts would kick in first before I'm able to do anything. I will just jump back, hoping to avoid this.
What?
I think he said he was going to jump back away from the spores, pulling the party with them.
Yeah. Horo, can you shove your microphone into your mouth, please? So
Oh my god.
Yeah, that works. That's perfect, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, sorry, as I mentioned, because I do believe
better.
instincts would kick in, and the first thing I would try and do is just jump out of the way, pulling people aside.
All right, excellent. Then what I would like from you is to roll me a athletics dex or athletics strength check, your choice, as you pull people away from these fungal clouds before they can infect you and the party.
Not acrobatics? Athletics?
I want athletics because you are yanking people along with you. This is not a lithe thing.
We all fall down into the sport.
That is a
I'm
9. Unfortunately, Gorefield's quick reflexes are not enough to rip the whole party away, and his efforts even get him into the fours. You breathe them in, and you feel a pain radiating from your lungs. You have all taken a single wound to begin your adventures. Please reduce your maximum hit points by 1/2 of your hit die. This will remain
What
in effect.
about we damage our equipment and not do that?
This is possible.
Would you like to explain more about your system, Greg?
Sure. Damaging equipment
Cue you
is
up
a
here?
player choice that we've seen some, often in weapon attacks. You can choose to break them to maximize the hit dice. In the effect of a player taking wounds, they may choose instead to damage their armor, which reduces its AC, I believe, by 1 up until it is AC 10, in which case it breaks forever. This damage or this AC reduction is permanent. And cannot be repaired by simple mending or other things. But you will avoid the wound. If you so desire, Timothy McGee, you may tell me how it is your armor breaks and allows you to escape this fungal spore cloud.
You watch as Timothy McGee, already having deleted his padded armor that he bought specifically for this, shreds it to make an emergency COVID mask, and doesn't immediately die to his intense allergic reactions to quite literally everything that exists outside of Antrim.
Excellent. With rapid precision, you rip
He's naked now.
You whip off your armor in full glory, but quickly and precisely rip it into a mask and protect yourself from this burning spore. You will not take a wound.
Can I use my newly acquired shield to do this? Does my makeshift shield explode into 1,000
A
pieces?
shield can protect you from critical hits, but your armor can be reduced to remove a wound or to prevent a wound.
And if you just
Out
go...
of curiosity, sorry.
So if it
After,
hits
like,
AC 10, it breaks, right?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the player handout here that I have given to you. Under damaging equipment, it says, when you would take a wound, and you are wearing armor, you may choose to instead damage your armor and ignore the wound. Each time you damage your armor in this way, the AC provided by the armor is reduced by 1. If the AC of the armor is reduced below 10, the armor is destroyed.
Okay. I will blow up my leather armor. I'm just gonna move it down to 0, so that way
All right.
I can just put a 1 on it later.
All right. Following the lead of good old Timothy McGee, you rapidly tear up your leather armor and create a mask of sorts to prevent the fungal spores from taking their hold upon your lungs. You as well will not take a wound during this event. All
Out
right.
of curiosity, there's nothing similar classes like Barbarian or Monk can do, right? Because obviously they have no armor on.
If you are not wearing armor, then the damaging equipment option is not available. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
All right. Well, then I would like for Blondie and Gorefield, the future cat dog, to both take 1 wound as the start of our adventure here.
16 to 10. I just want to let you guys know that your tank has 10 maximum HP before our first combat.
All right.
Vote last session. These are a small fry. I don't need to rage.
Well,
Excellent.
they did 12 damage in 1 round, so I might not make it to rage in time. So we'll see.
All right. Well, after lamenting your unfortunate lack of armor and or lack of future hit points, you do make it to the southernmost hex, kind of skirting around the edges of the forest and near the coastline. As you do so, somebody new should be taking over for the party here. Who is going to lead us in this next phase of your adventuring day?
Before we do anything,
Uh-huh.
as the cloud of spores fade away, Blondie's hand is going to shoot out towards Horo and grasp him by his intact leather armor and say, buddy, pal, listen, if we can afford to move carefully, we should. Because 1 more of those, and we're dead.
Just
Deal?
don't die.
Sure, I'll do my best. I guess I'll take this next phase.
All right. After admonishing your previous lead for your new elf friend's mistakes, you take over the lead of the party. You are in a new hex, but you are not required to stay in it. What do you want to do now that you are here, Blondie?
We going south? We riding the coast, boys?
Should we not search this hex while we've already discovered the danger?
What did that guy just say to me? Sorry, I don't speak elf.
Take the fucking search action.
Bark, bark, woof, woof, bow, wow, I think is what he said.
Wow, wow.
Thanks, Tyler.
You know, I knew furries in Norfolk.
Whoa. Listen, I only date dryads, I have you know. But
That sounds like the furry.
oh yeah.
Oh, did he
Well,
freeze?
hold on now. That would be more of a barky. There he is. But yes, I would like to do the search action carefully.
All right, you may choose to search the hex. As you do so, this takes 1 exploration point for the search, and if you wish to move carefully, it will take a second, bringing you to 2 exploration points for the day here. I would like for you to tell me how you go about searching this hex for discoveries.
Well, apparently there's a lot of broken logs around here,
Mhm.
so Lonnie's gonna do what he does best and just start throwing logs all over the place, looking under every fallen tree.
Excellent.
He's doing the Zangief double kick to knock down other trees.
I like
Anything
it.
in here?
All right.
Any dryads?
You break dead wood and throw logs and show off your Street Fighter dominance. As you do so, you are inviting danger, but somehow also being very cautious as you show off your Zangief. Go ahead and roll me a D100 minus 10 for your cautious exploration. We'll see if anything finds you kicking trees. That is an 88. This is the
Man, you should
Mistwood.
have rolled without a -10, honestly.
On an 88, your kicks and throws of the log are kind of interrupted as you are, showing off and looking for hidden things in the dead wood. You start to feel a small trickle of like rainwater on the back of your neck, and before you can really find anywhere safe and dry to hang out, a sudden severe storm comes racing into the area from the bay. It has wild winds and driving rains. It limits your vision, but more importantly, the dead wood that you've been kicking around is picked up and thrown around in a fury. Surviving trees from your kicks are knocked over by the wind. You, on the party, are caught in a severe storm. Tell me, how do you, Blondie, go about helping the party overcome or avoid the driving rains and crazy winds?
Greg, we would like to tie ourselves to a tree. I would like to use my immense strength to ride the winds and gather everybody in a hempen rope and attach us to this tree that I could not double kick down.
Excellent. All right, you find the tree most resistant to your Zangief skills, and then you begin grabbing allies, like, come here, cat, and just roping everyone to the tree. I want you to make me a athletic strength or an athletics constitution, whichever you prefer, to resist these winds and driving rains lashed to a tree.
No!
Oh my goodness.
That is 8. You lash yourselves to the tree as best as you can, and you survive. You are not thrown into the ocean or driven dead, but the ordeal of being lashed to a tree in a severe storm is exhausting. It is tiring, and I want each of you in the party to take 1 level of exhaustion.
Now, here's a question, Greg. Because
sir.
we explored so carefully, does that give us any advantage on this encounter roll?
It did. It let you roll at -10 on your D100.
I thought it also did something where, like, if you do have an encounter, you get, like, some sort of benefits for it? Or something like that.
Let me see here.
Where, like, you roll with surprise.
Moving cautiously. While moving through a hex, the party leader may declare the party is moving cautiously. Moving costs an additional 1 exploration point, as does discovery. While moving cautiously, the party leader will roll encounter checks with a -10. Will have advantage on surprise rolls. So if an enemy combatant were to be rolled on your encounter, you would be less likely to be surprised by them.
Does a storm count as an enemy?
I mean, you could have an advantage on your surprise roll for the storm, but the result of your tree lashing is going to end up the same. After the storm passes, each of you, tired and weary, will mark a point of exhaustion. As a reminder, exhaustion has been reworked for Land Beyond the Mist. This is not the 5 tiers from the book. 1 level of exhaustion will be a essentially global -1 to your D20 rolls. If you would like, there's a player handout as well for exhaustion. But the point here is it goes up to, I believe, 10, and it stacks. So each level of exhaustion will be a cumulative -1s to rolls going forward. But exhausted and wounded, you still explored this hex. Go ahead and roll me a survival wisdom or just a attack roll for your awesome kicks, because I think that we should reward awesome kicks. And your DC will be still the same for the discovery of the area.
Let's go with Booyaka.
That is an 8! Unfortunately, the storm washes away any progress you made kicking open dead wood and finding secrets. It hides it even further behind the debris of the storm, and you do not notice anything noteworthy or, strange, valuable.
So I
Kind of
rolled a
come up empty.
98. I rolled a 98, and then I proceeded to roll 2 twice. This game is cursed. Let's go back, boys. Let's go home.
We'll try
Did
again
you
next
also-
week.
Did you also roll? Oh, you rolled a 3, Horo. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go home.
All right.
Cheers.
Well,
We are one and the same. We roll high on encounters, and then we roll shit on everything else.
Brother.
tired and wounded, and without much to show for your first day here, you must press on nonetheless. You have 2 exploration points left. John or I suppose Timothy McGee or Talon. Who amongst you will lead this foray here?
I've got it. I've got this. We're gonna
Mhm.
move slightly into the woods. Oh god, right clicking does not snap. There we go. I think that's a tile, and I'm gonna move cautiously because I am a ranger, and the forest is my chosen terrain.
Ooh, you are a ranger. Excellent. While you are in your chosen terrain, it does not cost an additional point to move through the terrain, or you would to ignore the terrain point. So this will only cost you the 2 remaining to move cautiously. Excellent. As you drive your friends deeper into the mist woods, with the last kind of fading light of your day, I want you to roll me a D100 minus 10 to see if you are accosted along your trek through the mistwood. A 56. All right. You guys are just hitting all the different fun things on the table. All right. Talon, you are making your way deeper into the mistwood, and it turns out those driving rains from earlier, they've caused the forest floor to turn sodden and murky into a near impassable bog of vegetation, detritus, mud, and water. You didn't realize just how quickly the ground would change into this, even as a ranger, and suddenly you find your party in danger of just getting like this exhausting dirge through a bog. The muck is sucking down on you and your party members. You're fighting through what is essentially turned into a little bit of quicksand. What will you do to try to overcome this and keep your party free and clear of the bog?
Oh, man. He looks for the nearest log to surf us the way out of here.
You're gonna surf a log out of the
He's
bog.
going log surfing. Yeah, he's like, everyone get on the log!
I get on the log.
All right, you hustle everybody onto a log. You find one, of course, whether it was kicked down by your friend or if it was driven down by the rain and wind. You find one large enough to keep you and your friends afloat. You pile everyone on, and I want you to make me a roll. What is a good roll for piloting a surf log through the bog of this forest? I feel like if you had water vehicles, that would be the roll, but I imagine you are not proficient in water vehicles.
No.
I think this is a balance thing, right? You got to keep everybody on safe and sound. I want you to roll me. I think just acrobatics dexterity is the most balance oriented of the skills.
All right, if I fail, it's Mega's fault for some reason.
Okay,
Agreed.
excellent.
Agreed.
That
That's
is
not-
a
19's not too
19. That is a success. You pile everyone onto this like, I know what to do. Trust me, I'm a ranger. And you cowabunga through the forest, away from where the sodden ground has turned into this marshy, unstable bog, and you find yourself once more in sodden and wet but firm ground. And your party is not further exhausted by their travels.
Excellent.
Excellente
What's this
indeed.
Stouffer's lasagna doing in a box? Do we need a camp now?
You do indeed need to camp now. You have come to the point where all of your exploration points for the day have been exhausted. And you must now camp it up. As you do, I want to know what your camp looks like, first of all, right? You're wet, you're partially injured and or naked, depending on the fungal encounter. You're
Hold on.
yeah, you're tired. This has been a tough day of travel with very little to show for it. What does camp look like for the four of you as you get ready to spend it in this gloomy forest?
There's just 4 guys naked, hanging out in the woods.
Normal stuff.
Yeah, I think Blondie is like really, really mad. Like really. So like he's like he volunteers to get this stuff for firewood, and as he does, he's like flinging around trees like Tarzan, ripping down tree branches and just throwing them in the middle of camp. He's raging. He's Zangiefing trees. There's like a squirrel who like laughs at him and he punches the squirrel.
Oh, no.
it's just yeah. He's been doing his best to try to contain his anger. He's been meditating and calling to Cervantes to gain him some tranquility, but after losing the 40% of his HP, he's done.
All right. Well, with a strange atmosphere in camp, it eventually becomes later and later, and soon you must all bid yourselves close or near to sleep. Of course, everyone takes watches, and Timothy, you were unable to lead the party today, ran out of exploration points, so it's going to come to you in the night.
Or leadership.
Huh? Yeah, definitely.
Or leadership. Or choices. They were made. For sure.
Well, you might have a chance to make up for those poor choices, as at night things can go a little strange in the mists, and they get a little funky. As camp comes kind of winding down, I want you to make a D100 roll for me on the nighttime encounters.
Give me just 1 second here.
Absolutely.
It's 100, isn't it? It's coming. I can feel it.
You say 1D100, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I'm feeling mid-30s. 87,
Oh,
the
God.
opposite.
87. While camping, you get a manifestation of the mists. All right. What manifestation do you get in this X?
Can
Oh,
I-
07, boys.
I didn't get an opportunity to, but I do want to point out that as a gamer, Timothy McGee loves Minecraft and will make himself a mold earth pillar, where he will stand like 2 blocks above his companions. So if you want to push me off that pillar to make me suffer bludgeoning damage, feel free.
All right. While you do your best
call that
Steve
out.
cosplay, standing above the party, looking down upon it, you
Cold up here.
you actually hear more than see the sounds of faint music, laughing voices, and the rolling of dice. It sounds enticing, and you feel almost drawn to the sounds. What do you do?
Do I have any sort of... Like, am I feeling magically influenced in this decision?
If you try to resist it, yes, you will feel magically influenced by this.
Well, as a antisocial loser, when you say like good noises and good sounds, I just want to be back in my apartment typing on my typewriter for my murder mystery novels,
I
which I loosely base off my companions. So I'm gonna have to resist it.
All right.
Maybe
for the first time in your life, you're like, wait a minute, why does this sound good? Oh, gross!
People, social situations, girls.
Oh no, we hate that. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom or charisma saving throw, your choice. DC 10.
Is this against a charm effect?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, I, as a high elf and an elf lord, refuse to fall to the wily whims of women. Advantage!
Wow, fucking rolls.
Wow.
All right. Well, Timothy McGee is steadfast in his refusal to be enticed. He will have none of it. And as he stands on his Minecraft tower doing his Steve impression, the sounds will slowly fade as if they had never been there at all, and the forest once again returns to its gloomy, foresty self. And as night falls, nothing else strange comes of it. McGee has held strong in his beliefs and not been tempted.
It's true.
At the end of the night, you guys will all have benefited from a rest. I want all of you to mark 1 ration used, and then you will get the benefits of a camp, a night at camp. You will regain any spells or class features used during the day that correspond to a long rest. You may spend any hit dice to recover HP, yada yada. Regain hit dice, 1/2 of your max total to be used in the next day. I think you guys only took wounds and exhaustion, so your night at camp is not perhaps as restful and rejuvenating as it is for some.
Uh-oh, is exhaustion still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fuck.
Levels of exhaustion do not come off of your character during a camping night in the forest.
Hey, guys, it's your buddy Blondie here. I think we should go to that logging camp so we can not have exhaustion and wounds.
I heard that a group of adventurers tried to do that and got absolutely obliterated. That's probably a bad idea.
Hey, listen, newbie, I hear you, but you actually kind of, he reaches out, and so you see some nature magic in his hand. He's like, your soul kind of feels like one of those guys who got styled upon. So we're not going to take your advice.
It's true, my whole life I've been styled upon. That's why I became an investigator and a policeman. That way I hold power over civilians.
Oh no.
I didn't say he's in the novels again.
Lord Elf Timothy McGee.
You sound like you would
be.
You sound like you would be on several watch lists.
Oh, this is where the Empire, like, Timothy McGee's not actually a noble. He's just earned the title from the, like, Empress because he is the source of their entire propaganda. He just has made so many like novels. And
His side job is writing like romance novels.
All right.
As a mechanics question, if we go to the lumber mill and stay there for a day, do we lose?
So I think in the previous session, I had said, "Oh, people live there. That must be safe." That is mechanically incorrect. If we look at the giant rule documents, an outpost that can be built by you guys during Antrim in a hex that you've explored, that will count as a safe and secure location. That is where, like, soldiers will stay. Big walls are built. But a simple, especially, we could probably talk about how many security points you would need to keep it safe. Right? Like, if we built a bunch of palisades and walls, perhaps we could have a discussion about that. But a currently unprotected, like, lumber mill, it would not be considered a safe and secure location yet.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is about to be a very quick.
No, it's
It's
okay.
good.
We've got this. I'll start us off, okay?
All right,
We're gonna
Talon.
start strong.
The next morning, it is you once more leading the way. You have a fresh 6 exploration points. What will you do with them?
Look, guys, I know we wanted to go around the entire edge of the forest, but we're just gonna go right into the middle of the forest. So that way, if anything really bad happens, we're gonna do it cautiously. We can just immediately leave. We can just run for our lives.
All right. You take the party deeper into the heart of the Mistwood Forest. The gloom and shadows creep even darker here as you very rarely get breaks to see the sunlight above. The vegetation is thick and the sounds of beasts are chief amongst those that you hear in your ears. As you make the journey, please roll me a D100 minus 10 for your cautious movement, Talon, as we'll subtract your 2 exploration points. That is a 29.
Are we looking for a specific number? Does
Uh,
anybody know? Players?
No. No.
So,
Okay.
in general, the lower you roll, the better it is for, like, you. The fights that you
Okay.
roll will be lower. There is a chance of some beneficial effects. The higher you roll, the more detrimental the effects of the, like, weather and potential wounds, and also the more difficult the combat encounters. Just in that area. In general, higher is bad for you and lower is good for you. There are, of course, exceptions to these things. I have spattered some, like, cool things in and around everywhere so that it's not a perfect, like, number go up bad thing.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the clarification.
No worries. But with a 29, you have actually rolled again into the weather table. But you have rolled into a interesting beneficial weather, Talon. As you lead the party deep into the forest, it does indeed go gloomy. You do indeed hear the beasts. You do not see the sun. But the low-hanging fog of the forest floor clears, and it makes traveling even easier than you might expect it to be. As you lead the party deeper in, cautiously, and without expending that additional exploration point, you are refunded 1 exploration point from the excellent weather that you have found here deep in the forest floor.
So this is an interesting point, because I'm a ranger. I didn't use one, so do we just gain 1, so we're at 5 instead of 4?
You're at 5 instead of 4.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone. I'm good at rolling occasionally.
You're so clever and powerful and strong, Lord Talon.
Yeah, last night that definitely wasn't me playing with my dice set that you were hearing when you were panicking in the middle of the night.
My heart is only for a different person, unfortunately. I couldn't join you, for I heard the wily laughs of a woman.
It was just the trees. It was just
Wait.
the trees, Timothy.
There were chicks. You
Understood.
didn't wake us up.
No.
I know your ilk. You only care about people who are behind 1 to 2 inches of fursuit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's my preference, but that's not the only one.
It's crazy. How many of those guys work in the federal government? Hey, let's
Oh,
explore the
no.
hex.
All right, Timothy McGee, it sounds like you are taking lead of the party here in the middle of the forest.
Oh, yeah.
As the fog
I
is
love
cleared around you,
exploring hexes.
you explore this hex. Timothy, tell me, how is it that you go about exploring this hex?
I'm a trained forensic and/or science efficacy dude. I'm gonna do the old Sherlock Holmes, pull out a magnifying glass, take samples in vials, take photographs, and send them to my good friend Abby Shudo, who may or may not be an imaginary person in my head.
All right, you do just that. The full Sherlock Holmes impersonation, pulling out the magnifying glass, stomping about in the forest, leading the party through. While you are investigating, there is a chance that you run into something foul and dangerous. I want you to roll me a D100 as we mark down your 1 exploration point.
21.
A 21 is a no result. It is a peaceful day of discovery for you. You're just Sherlocking away, and nothing untoward or notable happens to you during the investigation. At the conclusion of your investigation, I'd like you to roll for me either investigation, intelligence, or perception wisdom. Your choice.
I am an investigatory man, and unless I have advantage, that is an 11.
That is an 11. What is your discovery DC in the Mistwood?
I hope it's 10.
The discovery DC is 12 in the heart of the Mistwood. Despite your investigations giving you some clever samples and interesting, like, tree and fungus, you find a little of note here deep in the forest.
Just as an aside, or would we have been able to help him if he asked for it beforehand? If we also had investigation?
When you're leading the party, you're kind of on your own here. Otherwise, the problem is then, like, everyone is going to have advantage on every roll, right? And then it's like, okay, now to balance the difficulty class of everyone always having advantage, the difficulty classes have to go up, and it's just like, why don't we just keep it as one thing? Yeah.
I was just asking for like a
fair enough. Yeah.
For posterity, we now know the answer.
Absolutely. So Talon has led us here, and Timothy has increased his sample count for his imaginary friend. But what is next for the party? It was Blondie or Gorefield. You have 4 exploration points. Who would like to lead this next portion of the day?
Damn it. We can do rock, paper, scissors.
Agreed. How do you want to do this? All right. Camera
shoot. On camera, on shoot. You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ooh, double scissors.
Shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You went.
Got it. Blondie dabs on the
Complete
cat.
with a dab.
You fucking dabbed on.
I like
What
that
the
this is in
hell?
character. The cat man and the dog man have a furious Rochambeau before finally winning. A dab just is hit in the middle of the forest. After this dominant display, Blondie, what do you do as leader of the party?
Oh my. What do you guys think? Would it be a good idea to take a second crack at discovery in the hex and we move carefully?
If you think you can do better than me, go for it.
Listen here, Shorty. Wait, you're an elf, right? You're not that
I'm
short.
like
actually.
6.5 feet tall. I'm a giant.
I am too.
Well,
Listen-
we should
listen here.
kiss. What do you want from me? Make a decision. Quickly.
You're not nearly barky or furry.
Stop wasting my fucking time and make a decision.
Yeah, we're gonna explore carefully.
All right, you choose to explore the hex once more, carefully this time. We'll mark down 2 exploration points. Tell me, Blondie, how do you try to explore this hex?
Oh boy, okay, so we're in the middle of a forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Blondie's going to do his best to, instead of kicking down trees, he feels like he's deep enough in the forest where if he starts doing that, the Dryades will come and beat him to death. So, taking a key from his learnings of natures, he's going to just keep a sharp eye out for anything that looks abnormal. Anything that's not just like a tree standing up or sitting down. If there's like a 2-headed squirrel, it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Anything that's out of the ordinary, he's keeping a sharp eye out for.
Sure. All right. You begin to keep the eye out, sharp as possible, looking at the forest floor, at the canopy above. As you lead the party along with your eyes as sharp as they can be, there's still a chance that you are accosted by something. Go ahead and roll me a D100, minus 10 for your careful movement through the party here. That is a
Older 80s, now older 20s.
Yeah, that is a 20. That is a null roll, essentially. There is neither anything good nor bad, nor particularly interesting that it costs you in the forest. You move safe enough and stealthily enough that they do not find you. But you are tracking, essentially. I would like for you to give me a perception wisdom or a survival wisdom, your choice roll for your exploration. A 23. You succeed indeed in the very center. Oh, that's the wrong one. In the very center of the forest. Your discovery here is a fairy ring. In the middle of this forest floor in the vegetation, you will find yourself looking at a round ring of mushrooms where the undergrowth has kind of stopped growing to, right, leaving a space for these mushrooms to grow crowded by the rest of the forest. Here, a group of butterfly-winged fairies dance around this mushroom ring. As you enter close enough to the clearing to get a really good eyeful of them, they disappear, scattering away from the ring and into the nearby bushes. With such speed, they leave you wondering if you had even seen them at all. What do you do as you stare at this fairy ring in the middle of the forest floor?
Hey, does any of you guys got high riz? You guys want to?
Do you need me to talk to some fairies for you, bro?
Yeah, you're
I
going
have
riz
the
up,
opposite
bro.
of high riz. I should speak with
This
them.
guy again.
Hi, Riz.
I thought we left this guy behind. Oh, fuck.
I can go back if you want.
No,
I can
no,
leave.
you're
Are you
chill,
telling
bro.
me you see all those mushrooms and you're not gonna try them?
No, you don't want to
No.
eat you don't want to eat the mushrooms, man. You're gonna just go eat somebody's house? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, bro, you're sick.
It's disgusting. And Talon will just call out, and Sylvan will be like, "Hey, excuse me. What do you guys use this ring for?"
Give me a persuasion check as you call out to the hiding fairies in the nearby forest floor.
Well then, this is.
Oh no, you're riz. Oh,
It's
hey.
a
you know-
12. A particularly boisterous looking fairy with spiked hair, and they've got bedazzled eyeliner, and they kind of fly their fairy glitter behind them, just leaving a rainbow trail, and they say, "It is the dancing ring. Come, you can join us."
Does this dancing cure me of any exhaustion or wounded friends?
It's just dancing.
All right, I'll get my friends to hop in on there. All right, guys.
Hell no, I don't dance. I'm Timothy McGee.
Yeah, I don't know.
know
You,
Riz.
you speak Sylvan?
Oh, I thought you were telling us.
No, hell no. I said, all right, guys, you need to get into the circle. Something cool will happen.
I repeat myself. Fuck you.
Okay, everyone who's not a square, get in the circle.
Yeah, bro, let's boogie down.
All right. Who all is getting in the circle? It sounds like Talon and Blondie are all in. Gorefield, are you jumping in the circle?
As you look around, Gorefield is 50 feet removed from the shenanigans.
Okay. Gorefield is standing next to the Minecraft tower that Timothy McGee has now squatted himself on, while you watch as Blondie and Talon step into the ring of mushrooms. The moment that you step into the ring of mushrooms, you guys hear a beautiful jig just go through the forest floor here. It is a magical song from a whole orchestra of fey creatures. It seems this fairy ring's boundaries are a thin spot between this place and the Feywild. You see an entire orchestra of dryads, of fairies, of pixies, of sprites, of centaurs, everything that you could possibly have imagined being here. And they strike up their song as soon as you step through. As you hear the song, you feel your bodies almost compelled to dance. And as you kind of begin that feeling creeping up your bodies, you look to see a large, dark treant with brows weeping and hanging down. It seems almost sad, and as you gaze upon it, you realize almost wordlessly that your task here is to cheer up or impress this treant. Your bodies are compelled to dance, and you must dance until you impress this treant. I want each of you to make me a performance check. DC 13.
Can I argue for Constitution? Yeah, I just dance the night away. I just dance so much.
The Constitution is good. I like that idea, but this isn't about how long or how hard you dance. This is about how much your dance impresses / cheers up this weeping treant. So I think this is more along the lines of performance. I think that I will allow you to do performance constitution, I suppose, instead of performance charisma, should you so desire.
Sounds good.
I think Talon hits him with the old classics, the lawnmower and the shopping cart, as well as the sprinkler.
Excellent.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's
So
it's like a 3.
It's a 3.
So, just to brighten up the show like it's a rave, Blondie's gonna cast light on his clubs as he boogies down on the dance floor.
All right, you boogie down with rave sticks glowing.
Okay, so this is gonna be at I have a +1 to this, so to be fuck it, we figure it out. So that would be -1 because we're currently exhausted, so 7, but +3 from my con, or +4 from my con, so that would be a total of 11.
11. That is still shy of our DC 13. The tree is sad, and it is very hard to cheer up. Your initial attempts just don't work. You try again and again and again and again and again. Eventually, the fairies grow bored of you. The orchestra stops. Your task it wasn't completed. You are released from the fairy ring, but each of you that failed in your task, please take for me 1 point of exhaustion, which would bring your totals to 2, I believe. Timothy and Gorefield, you didn't see the treant or the orchestra or all the gathered people in the Feywild, but you did see your companions dancing aggressively again and again and again for who knows how long. There's so many dances in this ring of mushrooms. What are you guys feeling and thinking as you stand on watching from your Minecraft towers?
I look at the 6 foot by 6 foot deep, 6 foot long, 14 inches wide pit I made for Batu, who I assumed would about to, drop dead.
Okay.
But after covering them up with my Minecraft ability, I look to the lasagna cat at my side and ask him, "What do you think they're doing in there?" Unable to tell that they're dancing.
they're doing so bad, it just doesn't register it's dancing. I don't know. I think they might have been charmed. I think they're losing their minds. Do you think we should try and save them?
No. Very dangerous. This is what people do when they go for
Shall we
women.
go back down to them? They seem like a lost cause.
Yeah, we can go back home.
All right, as you determine that it might be time to go back home, it is about then that the two companions step out of the fairy ring, sweating and exhausted from their dancing spree.
Man, I'm glad those fairies gave us like 7,000 gold to do that. Ugh.
I didn't get any gold. I went to the fairy wing, and all I got was 1 point of exhaustion.
Wait, didn't you get that Dryad's number?
No, she slapped me in
Oh,
the face.
shit,
'cause
I
I killed
did.
her sister.
Wow, unfortunate. I need to go take a nap. There was a lot of intense dancing. Ugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think a nap is gonna help you with this one, Tal. I think we're cooked, bro.
Just keep going. It'll never stop.
Well, after the intense dancing, you find yourselves once more in the heart of this kind of creepy, gloomy forest. The mirthfulness or perhaps strenuousness of the dance left behind. And the party has 2 exploration points left. Gorefield, it's going to fall to you. What do you do with them as your party finally reconvenes?
Yeah. I don't think I can carefully explore the hex anymore, but once again, we're in the heart of the forest. There has to be more to it than just dancing and crying trees.
Okay.
Or well, dancing wolves and crying trees, I guess.
So you're going to explore the current hex. That always costs 1 to explore. If you'd like to move cautiously, you may do so for 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
All
no
right.
reason not to.
You will spend your final 2 points to explore this hex once more. Go ahead and tell me, Gorefield, how is it that you go about exploring this hex?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we've spent the entire day in the same hex without really moving much. So I reckon we're missing something that's not obvious, because if something was obvious, we would have found it by now. So I'm going maybe where the trees grow very densely, where it's thick foliage, maybe something is obscuring our sight. I'm just trying to go as if it's the jungle, you know?
All right. You start looking through the thickest of the foliage, taking your players off the beaten track as long as you can. While you are doing so, I want you to roll me a D100 at -10 to see if you run into an encounter during your turn at the exploration wheel.
70.
That is a 70. Excellent. A 70. You are exploring through the forest as like obtrusively as possible, but while still being silent and cautious. And you begin to feel yourselves getting closer to something. And as you do, that fear response comes up, and I want you to make me a surprise roll at advantage.
It's a D10, correct?
That is a D10, correct.
7.
That is a 7. A 7 is a stalemate. The fear response is enough to alert you, but there are 2 bears bearing in on your location from either side as you try to get through this dense foliage. And as you do, you encounter them at the exact same time. They rear up to attack, and you shout, getting your party ready. I am going to need each of you to roll me initiative, and feel free to place yourself in marching order behind Gorefield as you do.
So I have a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to interrupt you when you were in the middle of expose, I guess.
Go nuts.
He had advantage. A 9 would be better than a 7 because there's a chance of
7
them being
is better.
surprised,
9 would
right?
be us being surprised.
Let me double.
9 is monsters are surprised on the.
Is it?
Do I have my own chart backwards? Let's take a look at it, because I didn't double check. I just went with the
I think
7
so.
he said. Let's go with combat surprise. The surprise roll of a 9 says monsters are surprised. All right. I want you all to instead roll me a group stealth check before we go into initiative. DC 13. If you guys succeed on that stealth check, then you will have a surprise round to start the initiative.
How do you guys roll with a -1 and -2 automatically?
This should be global modifiers activated on the sheets. If you edit like a new global modifier, you can mess with it. If you want to just like keep track of it in your head, you can as well.
Okay. That's 21.
All right, we have a 21, a 15, a 3, and a 19. All right. Oh, it was an 18, not a 19 from Blondie. I appreciate the honesty. All right. 18 and 21 is 39, and 3 is 42, and 15 is 57. 57 divided by 4 is going to be a 14. That will beat the surprise roll. All of you will get a surprise round before initiative proper starts. I would still like you to roll me initiative, because if they survive their surprise round, then I need to know.
Since
who's
we are
going
stealth,
next.
could we just leave?
If you want to run away, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Fight
I
the
know-
bears!
They each have like 30 HP and I have 10. Even
Look,
with
Bears
rage,
beats
I go
Battlestar
Lie
down.
about it.
Galactica.
Why are
All
we
right.
playing D&D, Mega? Come on!
Question for you,
I
Greg.
believe in you.
Are these rune bears?
Yes,
frightened
you
them?
have a moment to study them as you have surprised them. They are squatting down low in this like dense foliage, looking to actually get the jump on you, but you've noticed them first. Your fear response aggressive enough that you spot them and alert the party. Getting ready to jump them, you see not burned, but like tattooed almost into their flesh. There are circling runes, indecipherable to your eyes, but immediately recognizable.
You guys want to leave?
I don't want to. I want to be back a little bit, and then maybe like over here.
You have a
Just stay with
surprise
me,
round.
River.
You may definitely move back away from the bears in your movement. And what do you do once you get there?
Well, I'm gonna attack if I don't know what my other two companions want to do. Or we're just gonna do it in turn order.
If you would like to. I was just going to have everybody tell me what they do. But yeah, sure, we'll do it in turn order. Talon, you're the most initiative of your surprise round. You like race back away from the bears and you attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna ambush the closer bear.
Absolutely.
Closer to me. I think this should be an advantage. The short bow shot.
Absolutely is. With a 16, you strike the bear's AC. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Alright. Oh, that's a good start.
Alright, with 9 points of damage, your shot is a surprise this bear. It thought it was getting the jump on you, and you hear it kind of yowl the way injured animals do as your bow shot sinks deep into its haunch near its neck.
Excellent.
Elf Lord Timothy McGee, you are the next most dexterous of your group during the surprise round. What do you do?
Well, I use my movement to chase after Talon. And then I pull out my Service Sig Sauer, also known as a finger gun, pointed at the bear, and since I have plot armor, I can't miss with Magic Missile!
Ooh!
That didn't post the spell at all! That just whatever, I'll roll 2d4 more.
If you want to post the spell, you can hit show spell description. I find posting the spell to be cluttersome and unnecessary, but yeah. We all know what Magic Missile does. You fire your darts. You do 9 points of damage to this bear. It is getting hammered and is now officially bloodied during your surprise round.
Get 'em, boys. That's it.
I think it
That's all I
rolled
do.
only 1 damage because, like,
He rolled the additional 2d4 plus 2 underneath it, so he didn't do 3, he did 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just by
saying that
default
All
separated
missiles
in
do the same
Roll20.
damage in 5e, usually.
Now
It's
who's
cool.
the elf lord, Horo?
Alrighty. Blondie, you are raging, it seems?
Mhm.
All right.
I rage, and then I run up to the bear, and I am going to two-hand a quarterstaff at it, attempting to break it.
All right, you put your whole body and soul into this strike with your quarterstaff. It is a 22 to hit, which definitely hits bear AC. Maximum damage on a quarterstaff die is 8. So I believe that puts you at 14 total damage. You strike this bear. Your quarterstaff explodes into splinters all around you in a cloud. It gives a frightened roar, but it only goes to death's door, hanging on by the slimmest amount of hit points. It is almost staggered back by the ferocity of your bro, but your quarterstaff lies in pieces around you, unusable going forward. Gorefield, you are the last of the surprise round to go. What will you do?
As I see the runes in their eyes and on their fur, I get the Vietnam flashbacks of fighting wolves just a couple days prior.
Yes.
I probably need to make a wisdom save if I'm correct.
Yes. Yes, we do.
I am absolutely scared of them.
You
I am
are.
frightened.
Yes, this rune bear causes fear to race down your body as you see these runes. I forgot Gorefield was rune marked. I need to make note of that. Excellent. Gorefield, that fear of that sensation that you felt from the wolf bite takes over. You cannot move closer to the bear as per the fear rules, but you still get your turn on this on this surprise round. What do you do with it?
So, luckily for me, I'm not moving closer to it. As a matter of fact, I am using my feline agility to move double my speed this round. Because I
Okay.
rolled 60 feet away from it to begin with.
Excellent.
I'm gonna end somewhere there.
All right, you race away as far behind your party as you can muster, booking it away from this bear. Absolutely.
And I will shoot a short bow for a 16.
All right, the frightened creature has disadvantage on attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. I would say it still is. So go ahead.
It's a normal roll because we have advantage from surprise.
And you have advantage on the surprise, correct. So that is a 15 plus 2 minus 1. So 16. That will hit. Go ahead and... You don't even need to roll damage. Tell me how your bow shot ends the life of this ruined bear.
I reckon as I run at the speed of light, the bear gets confused. It looks at me, and as it looks at me, there is an arrow just sticking between its eyes as it falls down underneath.
It just slowly turns its head in a daze, still not fully back from the earth-shattering quarterstaff blow upon its head. And as it finally locks eyes with you, it realizes too late the arrow has already found purchase, and it falls dead. Excellent. Now combat will begin on initiative order. The bear is no longer surprised. Its buddy is angry as it is ready to enact vengeance upon the party. But before it can, Talon, you are top of the initiative order. What will you do?
Talon will move over here to hopefully draw this bear closer to his very big, very buff, druid-friendly barbarian, and he will take a shot at it.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit for me.
That's not a very good.
That is not a very good one. Oh,
We're back to where we used to be, guys. Woo!
your bow shot like sings through the trees, and you hear like the sound of a parrot dying as you just like you kill something in the distance that unrelated to this. Like I don't know if that makes you feel bad, but it does happen.
He just wanted a cracker, and instead he got an arrow.
Timothy, it comes to you as you stare down this ruined bear. What will you do?
I, Timothy McGee, will do what is known as try to hack into the bear's brain with the power of Mind Sliver. Please make me a DC 13 int save.
All
Or suffer 2
right.
psychic damage.
I will indeed. The creature will save. With an 11, it is not enough. You said psychic damage, did you?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll me said damage.
It rolled automatically. It suffers 2, and on its neck, I don't know if this matters.
Oh, I see. You
just
rolled
did
it
a party
above.
comp. It will suffer a 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes.
Excellent. I love it. Your mind and its mind briefly touch as you deal this, like, mind sliver, this psychic energy. The connection touches, and when it does, something evil, something unknowable, something beyond the realms of men touches your mind as well. I want you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please. DC 12.
It's the United States government.
The NSA. You succeed. You've steeled your mind against probes for a long time. In fact, your hood is lined with tinfoil as we speak.
Not today, FBI.
You successfully shield your mind from whatever may have briefly touched it. Blondie, it comes to you. What will you do?
Oh boy. It took a long time to decide this. I don't know if I need to dodge or attack, but I think if this is the end, fuck it. I'm going down swinging.
Ooh.
Based.
So Blondie
Actually
is,
based.
as he races forward, he pulls out his 2 clubs, and then he's going to use an action attack and a bonus action attack.
All right.
So here's the first one. So that is going to be -2, so actually going to be 11.
An 11 does not hit. Your club gets like batted down by the bear's paws as it sees your first swing coming.
That is going to be a 16, and with this offhand, I guess I don't even have to break it because it's already maxed out. So that'll be 6 points of damage with my offhand.
All right, yes, your offhand does successfully connect. It tries the same technique to bat you down with your paw, but you adjust and like hit it underneath its armpit or something, just smashing into it for 6 more points of damage. It gives a yelp of pain and then growls at you.
Blondie does like a salute and then ends his turn.
All right, Gorefield, you are hanging out way over here, having double moved essentially previously. What do you do as the action comes your way?
As a scared little pussycat, I will run another 30 feet and just be a little bit of screen. I'm attacking with disadvantage anyway, so might as well utilize the range.
Might as well get as far away as you can. All right. That is a 14, I believe, right? You only have -1.
15. I added the -1.
You added the -1 already. Oh, look at you go. That is a 15. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll me damage. For 11 piercing damage, you bloody this creature as your arrow flies true. It is definitely like limping on one side, like it got hit in the armpit and your arrow like follows it up. It is looking worse for the wear.
Sorry, it's only supposed to be 10. Hopefully he's still bloodied, but...
At 10, he is actually still bloodied, yes. But we'll give him back 1 hit point. Yeah. All right.
They always survive by one. Oh,
With that, the creature will get its turn to maul, as it has a new person who's walked right up to it, hit it in the armpit. I mean, how disrespectful is that? It raises up on its hind legs, and it is going to try to smash down on you first with a mighty claw attack, Gorefield, bringing its
Warfield.
Not Gorefield, Blondie. I'm sorry, I got the cat dog mixed up for a second. Blondie, and it tries to smash its claws down on you with a 23.
Yeah, that is.
That will hit. Please take for me 10 slashing damage from its claws. As it hits you, I want you to make me a DC 11 wisdom saving throw. That's
going to be 13.
Success. You are unaffected by this claw's extra properties. You feel like something cold, icy, almost like beyond the grave, like if run through your body. It gives you a shiver down your spine in addition to the slashing damage, but you steal your mind from it. Excellent. Seeing that you have not fallen to its mighty claws, it will lunge forward with its snout, attempting to bite your head off at the same go. With a 15 to hit. I don't know if that'll get you.
16 AC.
All right, you bat its like maw away from you, and it is going to end its turn by like getting up on its hind legs and just kind of like stepping over this log in a very like human fashion and putting himself behind you, but not leaving your threatened range. Seems like a strange and intelligent move from a wild beast.
Wait, did Bro stand up on 2 legs and then salsa dance around me?
He sure did. Talon, you see the salsa dancing bear. What do you do?
Sing circus tricks, get down! I like roll out of the way and shoot another
Mr.
arrow at
President,
it.
get down!
All right.
This is for the parrot, you son of a gun! Fuck!
All right. You miss this time, not critically so. You find its matted fur and like thick hide tougher than expected. Your shot is unable to penetrate the bear deeply.
Hey, that's a wild statement.
I must say I've never seen a ranger miss so many shots ever before.
So I used like 18 arrows last time. It hit like 3 times.
Timothy McGee, it comes to you watching your ranger aim fruitlessly at this bear. What do you do?
I also do a combat roll, puppeting Talon this entire time. And unlike him, I pull out my gun again and shoot him with a magic missile. Suffer!
All right.
My God. I'll make a macro or something. 2d4 plus 2 plus 6, so 11.
All right. 11 points of damage come firing out of your hands.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, you finger gun like you have a real like Glock from the stories that you write. You know, this cyberpunk propaganda that you've distributed widely. And much like the Glocks in your stories, it is super effective. Bringing this ruined bear down to death's door as it takes 11 points of... Whoa, did it just disappear?
You killed
I
it!
did! His friend comes back from the grave and has the remaining hit points of 5. There we go! Blondie. It comes back to you. Having been salsa danced around, what do you do?
Let me get this, and then we are going to club it. That's going to be a 15.
A 15 will hit.
That's going to be 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
7 points of bludgeoning damage. Blondie, tell me how you defeat the dancing bear.
I think he aims for the legs, and as he shatters the kneecap and like falls on the ground, he kind of kicks it as it falls over.
Okay, you go for the kneecaps, as is only fair for dead for a dancing bear. How else would you take it down? The forest grows silent once more as the din of battle quiets. And you see, much like perhaps some of you have seen before with the Runed Wolves, as the bears lie dead, it takes a little bit more time. Maybe because they're bigger, maybe for some other reason. But slowly and surely, their form desiccates in front of your eyes, their hair turning to dust, their mass shriveling down to just a desiccated skeleton, skin stretched over bone. With only the exceptions of these grayed, tattooed marks upon their body, these runes of some unknown origin. You once again cut into the creatures, and you find that the runes are once again filled with that kind of valuable gold-like substance. I would love for... Blondie, you struck the killing blow. I would like for you to roll me 5d8. You find 23 gold worth of valuable rune material inside these bears.
Nice.
As Blondie is carving the carcasses of the bears, would I be able, as I'm quite acquainted with them, and I have this creature, I had the creature inside my mind before, can I try and read the runes immune to whatever is behind?
Okay. I would like for you to give me an Arcana check as you attempt to read this rune and tap into the magics of your visions under the paralysis or the fear that you saw last time.
Luckily I am very good at Arcana.
All right.
And it's gonna be with a -1 extra, okay?
Okay. Ooh! You try to read the runes, but this is as foreign to you as possible. All that you know is that you have never seen the like before, not even in the writings of the marvelous mind of Timothy McGee.
He doesn't know what I've seen. He hasn't read my book, unless he stole it.
Blondie's going to, after carving or helping to carve these runes out of these bears, he's going to hold his side that has some fresh bear wounds and say, anybody up for a quick rest?
You currently do not have the exploration points to do a short rest, but you don't have any exploration points at all. You will be resting quite soon.
Oh, as Blondie looks at his exploration point watch and sees it's empty, he just goes, fuck it. And he is going to do healing hands.
I have a question actually, Greg.
Yes.
So when it comes to exploration, because this was my D100 roll that failed, succeeded, depends how you look at it. But do I still get to roll D100?
Your mic is really far from your mouth again.
Sorry, I do apologize. As I was saying, as we were exploring the hex, and this was the D100, and depends on how you look at it, we succeeded or failed at it, but
we still are going to complete the discovery check. Yeah. This is just wrapping up the encounter with the bears. If you guys are done and ready to move on, let's see if you succeed on that. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Bears left behind, Gorefield continues his exploration. You were looking through strange and off the beaten track places. It sounds to me like survival, as you're looking for places other people wouldn't. So go ahead and give me a survival wisdom check here against the Mistwoods Discovery DC. All right, that is a 14, I believe, yes? Or did you already put your -2 in? That is a 16. Either way, you succeed. The Mistwood will reveal to you a discovery. What do you find in this hex with your investigation?
A fountain of youth.
He finds a fairy ring. No.
Don't tempt me again, Greg. Don't tempt me a third time. I'll do it.
I have the need to suddenly dance.
You find a different clearing. Here in the deepest heart of the forest, where the gloom is the darkest, you push through overgrown and like difficult paths that others would not. And you find yourself eventually pushing into a true clearing. Sunlight, something you really haven't seen in many hours this deep in the forest, comes pouring in through the forest. And in front of you is a sunlit, bathed glade, almost a field of golden fronds. And you are met by the sweet and refreshing aroma of Tellus leaf. You have found one of the rarest plants in existence, for it is very hard to grow domestically. So much so, in fact, that many sages call it impossible to do so. But here in the deep woods of Ansham, a veritable field of them are at your disposal. Should you desire, you may spend an exploration point that you do not have to collect them. You can make note of this place, camp, and then spend an exploration point on the morrow to come back and collect them. They will cost you essentially 60 pounds worth of space for one resource back at Ansham.
I think it's worth doing.
I believe so too. We don't have any exploration anyway, so we're gonna camp and decide in the morning what we want to do.
Are you sure we can't eat them to regain wounds and exhaustion?
Well, honestly, this is a field of a almost a mystical plant, right? These are said to be gifts from the gods themselves. They are attributed often to Tellus, a kind of earthen deity, one associated with kind of like a Gaia-like quality to the planet. Whether that's true or not, you're not sure, but they are alchemically potent, and some say ring or hold base magics in their flowers. If you would like to forego the opportunity to bring them to Ansham as a resource for crafting and building up the city, perhaps you could consume them. There's a chance. I don't know if you know alchemy or have an herbalism proficiency, but surely these plants have some potent power.
What do you think, guys? Because I'm at 7 out of 10. You know, it'd be nice to bring them back home, but if we don't make it back home, it doesn't really matter.
I think we can bring them back with us. I think we can survive. If we survive tonight, we can survive several nights, maybe even 2.
I have no opinion. You guys can tell me.
Gorfia, would you like to gorge?
I personally don't believe we should be eating random magical leaves we have no idea about.
We're desperate, Gorfield. Look at me.
Burn your stomach and suffer another wound, and then you're just lying.
Yeah, what if you just explode?
Look at the coronavirus I got from those spores and my bare wounds. They didn't heal up, Gorfield. I'm afraid. I'm afraid they're gonna find us attached at the ass in a couple of weeks.
It'll be fine. Just don't follow the weird noises at night, and we won't all feel like we're dying the next day. I feel like.
That's a good point. All right.
All right.
Why
So
don't you muck
it
around
sounds like you're going to choose to use an exploration point on the morrow, should we have a tomorrow, and and gather these for Ansham. All right. Which means that you're probably going to have to camp. I don't know if you do it in the field of Telesleaf or if you retreat somewhere else into the gloomy forest. But tell me, as you run out of exploration points, what is the party's mood like here as you set up to camp one more time?
Blondie will insist that we camp in the field. So on the off chance that like 3 people go down, the last person can just Hail Mary and eat a bunch of them and see what happens.
I think while, our good old werewolf is sleeping, I'm going to spend my watch mold earthing the ground around him so that when he wakes up, he looks like he's in a grave, just to fuck with him,
It is what it is.
He's got a fixation on death, and I'm all about it. Let's let him live out his wildest fantasy.
Okay.
I think Talon will make a fire and using his cantrip like every hour, because I think he gets to meditate instead of sleep because he's an elf.
Mhm.
Elves, boy,
And
yeah.
he will control the flames, so once every hour he will make the flames half as bright as they were before. So that nobody notices it.
Okay. You're stealthing the camp. I thought you were just trying to put your party in the dark. All right. It is a surprisingly jovial night for the most part, except for perhaps Blondie, who is the butt of a prank and will find himself awakening in a half-buried position. Maybe like
Beloved.
is it like at the beach where they bury them up to their neck?
No, he's like 6 feet in the ground.
Oh, jeez.
Baby, I'm Minecrafting. Woo!
But during the night, the mist is a weird and difficult place. I believe all of you had a chance to lead the party, so I want you to make me a just unmodified D20 check to see who is unlucky, or perhaps very lucky, during the eve.
Hell yeah. That saves, baby.
All right. We have a 15, a 10, an 11, and a 15.
Oh,
Excellent.
I succeeded. Come on, why am I the lowest one?
10. Unfortunately, Gorefield, you're just not the luckiest guy, and things go weird and bump in the night around you. While you are watching the fire dim every hour and mud just magically dancing upon your lifelong enemy, Blondie, I want you to roll me a D100 for your evening encounter.
I must say, if it's another 80 plus, I'm not playing Gorefield again.
It is an 85. It is an 85 on the camp encounter, which means we have yet another manifestation of the mist. I rolled a 1, so your manifestation tonight is...
Low is good, right, Lamau?
It is, actually. Oddly enough, Gorefield, while the sound of mud is squelching upon your foe and the firelight flickers at the edge of your hearing, you also hear the sounds of faint music, laughing voices, and the rolling of dice. It sounds enticing, and you feel drawn towards it. What do you do?
I have 6 intelligence, and I think there might be lasagna there, so...
All right, you follow
It's been
it.
a couple of days.
Do you alert your party to the noise and have them come with you, or do you go alone?
I think one of them is occupied playing with dirt, and the other one is just, I don't know, meditating or doing his things. I'll just walk out, but I won't say anything, but they might notice me, they might not.
All right. Gorefield, you wander into the darkness of the forest, drawn by these sounds that surely grow louder and louder as you make your way through the forest. Guided by these sounds and using the low light vision of a cat, you eventually are led to a strange area in the forest. The sounds all stop, but in front of you, you see a strange lockbox covered in flowing glyphs. Despite having never seen glyphs like these before, you immediately, instinctively understand them as an invitation, and they read something akin to what is life without a gamble. It is, of course, our very nature, risk and reward devoured, or be ever branded a coward. Guess what lies within my box, your very word, your wager. Upon reading the inscription, you feel like this is a magical wager that has been standing here for some time, and you feel as if you are playing a part in a play. You are compelled to guess what's in the box.
And my word is is the wager, right?
That is what it said. Yes, your very word, your wager.
I'm very tempted to just say nothing and then be done with the encounter. If it's gonna play out the way it is.
Then wake one of us up.
How big is the box? Do I reckon there could be like a dagger inside? Do I
Easily.
reckon, is it like oh,
This is a lockbox. It is not like a small lockbox that you might put on your nightstand. This might double as like a trunk, right? You would see a lockbox like this on like a sailing ship or something. Quite large. It's probably.
you know what? In my country, we have a saying: who doesn't take risks doesn't drink champagne." So I'm gonna go out of the limb and risk my bow, and I'll say it's a short.
You say a weapon is in the box. After you guess, you feel compelled to open the box to test your wager. Do you open the box?
Of course, that's what it says to do.
All right. The box opens with a click, and as you open the box, I want you to make a death saving throw.
Another one.
Another one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a success. As the box creaks open, you see inside that it does indeed contain a weapon. You have guessed that the box contains a weapon, and inside is a bow. It is onyx black, and a red gemstone seems to swirl through the actual, like, stiff bow material. And the string itself is like a pale sinew, almost like it has come from like something that has never seen the light. It reminds you perhaps of Tales of the Underdark. Upon testing the string, you find it sharp enough to even draw blood on your fingertips.
Will knock an arrow and I'll let it loose.
All right, you give yourself a chance to test out this weapon. You will find that this is the Bloody Bow. For each creature that this weapon kills, it gains a temporary +1 to hit and damage, up to a maximum of 3. It loses this property each day at dawn. However, when this bow is fired, it causes you pain. It causes your fingers to bleed. It costs 1 wound to be the user of this bow. You by attuning to this weapon, you will have a permanent wound to your character.
Okay. So if I do attune to the weapon right now, which I'm assuming I already did because I started shooting it, I have 2 wounds. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Okay, I'm at 3 max hit points. That got 6 will kill me.
All right. You return to camp. Somehow just kind of floating along. You seem to know the exact way. And you return to a dimly lit fire and a buried dogman while somebody's writing furiously in the corner of the fire pit. But the rest of the night will go by uneventfully, and you will get the opportunity to spend a restful night camping in the woods. I want each of you to mark down 1 ration from your pool, and then you may gain the advantage of a camping night in the woods. You will gain the ability to spend any number of hit dice to use as to regain HP, and then you will regain any spells or class features associated with a long rest in the player's handbook. The next morning, you will be given 6 more exploration points, and you will gain 1/2 of your hit dice rounded up to be used in the next day.
I'm sorry, did you say a short rest?
You will gain spells and class features associated with a long rest in the player's handbook.
Oh.
Sorry, I just want to double check. Was it a short bow or a long bow? It's a short bow, right?
Did you wager a short bow or a long bow?
Well, I don't have a long bow, so I wagered a short bow.
You have then you have received a short bow.
Based. You guys want to take a quick break?
Yeah, I suppose so. We've been playing for basically 2 hours. This would be a very good stopping point. Why don't we take a 5 or 10 minute break here, and then we'll come back and see what the party does on the next day of adventure. I hope to see you all very soon.